Welcome to the For Listeners program. Welcome aboard, everybody. Thanks for checking us out this week. What up, everybody? I'm Spear. On the mics this week is the Z-Man. What is up, Z?
It's Slinky, it's Slinky, it's fun, it's a wonderful toy. It's Slinky, it's Slinky, it's fun for a girl and a boy.
It's fun for a girl and a boy. Good job.
Excellent.
Good job. On the other mic is the mighty Ganthor. What is up, Ganthor?
Feeling pretty mighty.
You feeling mighty? Why are you
very mighty?
Why do you feel so very mighty tonight?
I don't know.
It's just a good night for you?
I guess it must be.
All right. Z-Man, what do we got on tap this week?
Something must be done about shitty children's toys?
Shitty children's toys, sure.
Wait, crappy toys or some other connotation of shitty?
I think dangerous is probably
Dangerous. How about, okay, what's
dangerous.
Something must be done about dangerous children's toys.
Dangerous children's toys.
Dangerous.
I thought you hated kids, though.
Oh, I don't care. I think some of these are actually pretty badass, and I'd love to try them out. Yeah, I saw this, was a Gizmodo article today?
Gizmodo, yeah.
And they got this top 10 most dangerous toys ever. And, you're familiar with some of them. The Buckyballs, it's a new one. We still have them in our office, and we love playing with them. And now we got the place we were getting them from was doing a closeout sale, a blowout sale. Everything was all discounting because they had to get rid of them, which I don't believe is the way that recalls work. But
well, the guy didn't recall. The guy didn't recall them.
Oh, really?
Right. The CEO of the company decided rather than recall the products, the inventor or the founder of the company dissolved the company rather than fund the recall. And the government sued him in an effort to collect the $57 million in costs for whatever.
That seems like a random number.
So the guy, they never recalled them. They just stopped making them.
Well, anyway, so we got giant ones in the office now, and they're a lot of fun. We play bocce, magnetic bocce.
Magnetic bocce.
So we have a target ball, and then you have these big. I mean, they're probably smaller than a golf ball, but bigger than a large marble. And you got to try to roll your ball closest to the target ball, and without attracting any other balls to your ball.
So that's gonna be super hard because these things were
the super high strength magnets. Yeah, they're like the rare earth magnets.
Which was kind of why they became such a problem for kids.
Yes.
Like the thing about the Buckyballs is that they were tiny, and then like if you swallowed a handful of them, or even like one at a time, if they got trapped in your digestive tract, they would because they're super magnetic.
Find the other ones and then stick to them. Yeah.
And then like start crunching your internal organs.
Yeah, awesome.
No, not awesome. Very bad. Very, very bad. I mean, that's why they had to discontinue those.
But I mean, so whose fault is it? I mean, kids can swallow glass too. We're supposed to not have glass?
Yes, I suppose there is.
What about Jacks?
Yeah, I mean, they're labeled saying, "Hey, these are not children's toys," right? So the manufacturer alerted people this is not a toy, but yet parents decided to not heed their warning and said, "Fuck it, I know better." So it's the manufacturer's fault that the parents decided to take that responsibility?
Well, sometimes the kids just get a hold of stuff too, right? I mean,
how are they going to get them in the house? If they're in the house, it's the parents' fault for bringing them in the house.
So I will grant you the Buckyballs. Maybe that shouldn't have been. Maybe you should not allow kids to get their hands on those things because they're adult toys. But what say you about the Aquadots?
All right, so this one I've never heard of this. So Aquadots are essentially these. They're spheres made of some weird material that you put them in some kind of mold or like a thing that has like light bright, like it tells you where to put the colors.
Yeah, it's like a little tray. Yeah.
And then you get them wet, and then they solidify.
Right.
That's the idea?
Yeah, into like little plastic molds of like little creatures and fun stuff.
Yeah, so I was reading this one, and what are they made out of, Chris?
GHB.
In layman's terms, what is that?
That's the date rape drug. It's roofies.
Oh, it's roofies. How bad you're right.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that nobody tested this with, I don't know, maybe trying to eat some of these to see if they were safe for children to consume, right?
Yeah. So
how do you accidentally make or include GHB in your product?
So the plastic, when they colored the plastic, the paints that they colored the plastic with, the whole idea is to get these things, put them on the tray, and then put them in water so that they stick together. But what happens is when you add the water, it metabolizes into GHB. So what was happening was kids were getting roofied. Right?
Yeah, I saw this. Kids were becoming like comatose, right?
Yeah.
Because depending on how much they ate, It could be a lethal dose.
Yeah, one kid was, according to this article, one kid was hospitalized for 5 days.
That's amazing.
Because they were getting roofies. So explain that one. I'll grant you buckyballs.
Yeah,
but this
I
is
don't,
a
that
kid's
one's,
toy.
that one's tough. I really can't defend that. I mean, that is a child's toy that is intended for children, because adults wouldn't be playing with that.
No.
Although that'd be a great thing to be like, hey, new girl, let's go back to my place and play arts and crafts.
What the fuck? Have you heard now that they're making this nail polish?
Yeah, you can. That'll react to roofies.
Yeah, so like if you stick your finger in your drink with the nail polish on, if the nail polish changes color, then
Yep,
it's got the GHB. I wonder if moms should have had that nail polish when when they were playing with this fucking toy with their kids.
They're making another one. It's going to be like a coaster. Same thing. It's got something that reacts to roofies, so you can kind of like drip your drink on there, and if it changes color,
Yes, you don't have to dip your finger in
there, and actually remember to paint your nails that color.
Right.
That, which I'm sure has some great toxins in it as well, right? I mean, what the hell's in that nail polish that that it's able to react like that? And do you want that like in everything else you're touching with your fingers?
Yeah, right. Never mind the sanitary aspect of things, but that's neither
Why
here nor
wouldn't they
there.
just put it on a stick that you can just keep in your purse and dip in there?
I think they do. I think they do. I think they have the sticks. I think the coaster they actually have. This is a new thing, so that it doesn't, so that you can do it all nonchalant. Like when you're talking to that guy that you're not so sure of, just stick your pinky in that drink there. And
So you're on a date and you see the girl doing it. I was like, and you'd be like, call her out on it. You're like, did you just seriously stick your finger in your drink? Did you
Right.
think I roofied you?
right. So all right. So Aquadots, not so much.
They're on that one.
Right. There's also the one next to this is the Monster Science Colossal Water Balls. First of all, that's a fucking mouthful of a name.
Yeah. So I didn't understand what this one was. Did you get the idea of this?
Yeah. So you know, like you get those little Ganthor. You've seen these, right? Where you get like the little capsules and you drop them in water, and then
Yeah, they turn into dinosaurs and stuff.
right. So these
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
right. So these are little like marble looking things, little gumball looking things, and that's the point. That you drop them into water, and they basically when you add in some whatchamacallit, some magic powder. They expand.
Daddy's magic powder?
It's not quite Daddy's magic powder. It's called growth powder.
Okay.
And
Into the water.
Into the water, these things expand to 400 times its original size.
What's its original size? Is that like
It's like a
gumball?
it's like a
Is that like
gumball.
a fucking jawbreaker?
It's like a gumball, right? So
All right, so it's still not that big.
Right,
it's like
but
what is it, like a quarter?
so a gumball to something probably closer to the size of maybe a baseball.
Okay, that's pretty big.
So now imagine the kid eats one or more of these little gumball things, and they're painted to look like gumballs or look like candies.
Does the kid have the magic powder in his gut?
Could, right? What happens to the kid that actually choked down the growth powder?
Well, that's like a two-step process, and that's a double stupid kid for eating things he shouldn't be eating.
Granted, but again, kids put any kind of stuff in their mouth, and the best part about these things were they weren't X-rayable.
Right, because they're gel, so you can't even see that they're in there.
Right.
And so there's probably no way to actually get these things to shrink until they actually dry up, and inside of your stomach, it's got an endless supply of liquid.
right. So they required surgery to get.
Oh my
out.
god!
Yeah. Ganthor, you can't really stop what kids put in their mouths, especially when they're young.
Can't stop what your mom puts in her mouth.
Oh man, I set myself up for that one.
That's pretty good.
How long were you sitting on that? You knew that.
Not as long as she was.
Oh, double up. Oh.
Oh my god. Never mind, Ganthor. I retract my question. Fuck you.
Can you please say fuck your mom, because you haven't said fuck your mom in so long.
Ganthor,
Yo.
fuck your mom.
Hey.
That sounds better, man. It's been a while.
God
It has
damn
been.
I kind of forgot what it sounded like.
Fuck your mom, Ganthor. Jesus.
But no, I agree with you. Things that your kids play with should be easily reversible and not able to cause
Life-threatening.
long-standing damage.
Yeah, not life-threatening. Speaking of putting things in mouths, one of the other things on here is this Cabbage Patch Snack Time doll.
Okay, have you guys ever heard of this thing? Because I have never even heard of this.
I've never heard of it, but
And I was around in 1983 when Cabbage Patch Kids were big.
sounds pretty creepy, though, right?
Right.
So this thing, a Cabbage Patch Kid was just like a regular plastic head It wasn't always even plastic. It was a fabric head on like just a regular doll body.
Right.
This one now was this is a plastic head that had an automatic open and close mouth, like an articulated mouth that was motorized.
And the idea was that you could feed it, right? Like you could have like a bottle or something for it.
Right, and it would go like nom nom nom. Right.
Yeah.
But the problem was that you couldn't turn it off. There was no off switch.
Right. It had a sensor on it, so if it felt like something pushing against it, it would trigger it to go.
Right. So this is one of those things where you would put your finger in it, or like your hair would get caught in it, and then the Cabbage Patch Kid would basically eat you.
Where did the hair get caught?
So I'm looking at this on How Stuff Works. The Snack Time Kids dolls featured battery-powered mechanical jaws designed to mimic real chewing action.
Okay.
It says here, unfortunately, the dolls did not stop chewing even when the snack was a children's finger or hair. One little girl even had to be freed by rescue workers after her hair became so entangled that the parents called 911.
Well, I heard the article had it written that she got scalped, like it actually pulled hair out of her head. And again, I still don't understand how this is possible.
So that's kind of stupid, right? I think I would have just cut the hair before I yanked it out of the head, but
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like the parents don't have scissors or a knife.
You're right, yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah, that one I didn't get that one at all.
Sacrifice an inch of hair there for to get loose from the fucking scary ass Chucky doll.
That's exactly what I saw, man. I was looking at that thing, I was like, yeah, it's Chucky. Fucking Chucky.
The funny part about this entire list is that this is just the most recent case of these things. We've been making bad, horrible, dangerous toys for many, many, many years, and we've been letting our kids have them. Like, I remember having BB guns.
Yeah, that's fine. Or wrist rockets.
Right, or like those. I had the rocket that you'd fill up with water, and then you would give it water. You would give it air pressure, and it would shoot up in the air.
Yep. Now, Mr. Wizard's World, they showed you how to do that.
Right.
I had real rocket engines too.
Oh yeah, well you got like
ignite.
those. Yeah, they got the ones with C's, those D's, and all that shit. It's like
Yeah.
you had like electric timers on or electric detonators on them.
Really?
Yep. You pound them up. You could turn them into bombs by putting that powder in something.
Yeah, and like the D engines, like you had to have like a parent with you or something like that because it was too dangerous.
Yep. I use those in so many things that weren't rockets. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
One of the things on this list is a CSI fingerprint examination kit.
Yeah, I saw that. And what was the bad thing in that one?
Well, it came with asbestos.
That's
Awesome.
fantastic. Like, I feel like you have to go out of your way or
Well, I mean,
source it from China maybe to get that into your product.
The question is it would real CSI dust, like a real forensic fingerprint dust, actually contain that asbestos? Is that why it has it in there?
I don't know, but that was what it was. I mean, it was the fingerprint dust that contained asbestos. But that's not even to me that's just the latest instance of like horrible things that people like with chemicals. Like you had a chemistry set when you were a kid, right, Ganthor?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we had them too.
Absolutely.
Me and my brother, we used to sit out in the garage and make potions, as we called them. Most of the time, it just was sulfur bombs.
Yeah.
I mean,
But we
I
had like
just
real.
tried combining everything. Some stuff didn't do anything. Other stuff, I'm pretty sure I made chlorine gas, which gave me quite a headache.
Yeah, I mean, there was real chemicals in there. Now I didn't know shit because we didn't have the internet back then. But like, what's that book that teaches you how to make all those crazy bombs? Like the
Anarchist cookbook.
Yeah, the Anarchist Cookbook. Like, if you had the Anarchist Cookbook as a kid with a real chemistry set, oh, that wouldn't be safe. That
Man,
wouldn't be a good thing.
if I had a chemistry book from high school with my chemistry set, I'd have made thermite 20 times over. All it is aluminum and iron filings, I think, that you ignite with magnesium, and then it burns through anything.
which was
Yeah,
which was
the key
in
to-
pretty much every chemistry set.
Right. The key was just getting it hot enough to start the reaction.
Well, first it was knowing about it in the first place, and then, getting it hot enough. I probably would have burnt the house down. Because I'd have put it in a flower pot or a bowl or something and tried it, and it would have just melted through the floor. Like Alien. The acid just keeps
blood,
going
right?
and
just
going
seeps
and
through
going.
everything, yeah. I mean, chemistry sets were pretty common, right? In
Right.
fact, here's I'm looking at one from this company Gilbert, which has made all kinds of horrific, horrible things. This one actually came with instructions. It came with an experiment, how to make an explosive mixture. It's flat out fucking showing you how to create explosions with gunpowder because it came with ammonium nitrate.
Awesome.
My uncle told a story once that at one of the holiday dinners or whatever about, as a kid, he was playing with his brother's chemistry set, was mixing it up and using everything, and he wasn't supposed to be doing it because it wasn't his set, it was his brother's. And he heard his brother come home, so he quick took everything he made and threw it into the furnace in their basement, shut the door, and went upstairs like nothing was happening. 10 minutes later, boom, blew the door off the furnace across the basement into the wall. Can you imagine that? From a chemistry set that you could play with as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been
like you didn't make mustard gas or nerve gas. Or
you don't know what
like
the fuck
that.
you're doing. You're just taking powder, you're mixing it together, you're adding some water. You don't fucking know. You don't know what the chemical formulas are. You don't know what the reaction or the exothermic reaction is going to be. You have no fucking clue.
I'm surprised I was even able to reproduce.
My freshman year of college, the RA in our dorm was I think he was a chemistry dude, and he decided he was making fireworks in his dorm room, and he left them up on the radiator, like up by the heater in the winter. And it's the same thing. We're in our dorm room, 10 rooms down, and all of a sudden you just hear a boom, and we're like, "What the fuck was that?" And you go out in the hallway, and you look down, and you see smoke billowing out of this room. And so we ran down there with fire extinguishers and all, and we open up the door, and the dude just is like. You look, Yahoo Serious, hair straight up, black marks all over his face, just dazed, just walking around dazed, like he has no fucking clue what the hell happened. And he was no longer an RA. I think he lost partial hearing too in his one ear.
Wow.
So this Gilbert company that made this chemistry set also made a glass blowing set and a molten lead casting kit.
Wait, an at-home lead? What'd you say? At-home glass blowing kit?
At-home glass blowing, and
How
an
the fuck did you do
at-home
that?
molten lead casting kit. Never mind the fact that the softening point for glass is like 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, how are you supposed to get something up that hot?
I don't know.
Okay.
And you were supposed to. It came with like the tubes for like blowing the glass or for pulling the glass or for whatever. So by the way, it doesn't come with gloves.
What was the age range on that?
It was like 8 to 10.
This is an 8-year-old's glass blowing kit.
Or the lead casting kit. Never mind that lead poisonous, what have you, right?
Breathing in the gas.
It comes with a little melting pot so that you can fucking smelt the lead, and then it's unbelievable.
That's great.
The whole purpose for this thing was so that you could make little toy soldiers.
Oh, well, I mean, that was big, though, right? I remember my grandfather telling me he used to do that shit.
Well, yeah, so he probably got lead poisoning by playing with one of these fucking things. My favorite of the old-timey toys was the Atomic Energy Lab.
I don't know this one.
This
What's
one's
that?
great. This one only sold for 1 year. It came with uranium and radium.
What?
Yeah.
Actual, what do you use? Is this like Back to the Future?
You're right. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
1.2 gigawatts?
No, this actually came with uranium, and it came with a subscription for you to go get more uranium if you needed it.
Were you able to find out if anyone had radiation sickness from that or burns?
Yeah, there's no reports of that from the 1950s.
Oh, it's 50s. Huh?
Yeah, the 1950s. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We've been making horrible, horrible kids' toys for years and years and years.
And by horrible, you mean awesome.
The other classic toy is the gun, right? The BB gun. I'm trying to remember the name of the water gun that I used to have that was motorized.
Super Soaker.
No, it was motorized.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
It was battery operated. It came with the cartridge that it looked like. First of all, the thing was shaped like an AK-47.
Which they can't do anymore because people get shot for having them.
Right. It was shaped like an AK-47. It was painted black, and it came with a cartridge. The actual cartridge was that you would fill with water, and then you would...
I remember that. I can't think of what they're called.
I can't remember what they were called. I'm trying to think of all the gun-related things that I had when I was a kid.
Well, we had these I guess you could say they're airsoft guns. They were little miniaturized versions, maybe less than a foot long, shaped like the real guns, like an AK-47 or an M16 or whatever.
Right.
And they shot the little yellow airsoft pellets. So, of course, the first thing we did is put on chemistry goggles, take our shirts off, go in the basement, and play, urban combat, where you shoot, and they're automatic too.
What?
Battery-powered automatic, yeah,
Why would you take your shirts off?
because it hurt more.
What is the matter with you?
That's the whole point of playing a game like that, is to hurt the other person. If you could just wear armor, it would defeat the point. So you take your shirts off, because if you get caught out in the open, you got welts all over your all over your chest from these little yellow stinging balls.
Such a dumbass.
It was fun.
It was fun to get welts all over you.
Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah, especially if you caught somebody out in the open while they were trying to do something. It was great, because we played in the dark too. My mom decided she wanted to play one time. She didn't quite understand how to duck.
Did she take her shirt off?
No, but she didn't know to duck, so we shot her face.
I shot something in your
I
mom's
teed
face.
it up for you, Spear.
I shot something in your mom's face. I was right
Yeah?
there. I got it.
Took you kind of fumbled it.
I didn't fumble it. I was right on it.
I think if that went for video review, it would have been incomplete.
Negative. That was a completed pass.
Ruling on the field, incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass.
You guys ever have a potato gun?
Oh, hell yeah, I built a potato gun.
Yeah, I never had
cannon.
one.
Oh my gosh, you should have built them back before the ATF would bust your ass.
Are they like considered illegal now?
I think they're considered firearms.
And that was
They're
back when.
so much fun, dude.
That's when they had the good hairspray. Back when it had all the good chemicals in it.
Yeah, it was tough finding a hairspray that would work well. A lot of
Aquanet,
them,
right?
There was too much crap, and then the cannon wouldn't fire after a while. But if you got a good hairspray brand, it's fantastic. I built one. I think it was 6 feet tall.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ, Ganthor.
We
You-
wrecked
you-
so
you-
much stuff. I set up a little plywood board and spray painted like a person on it. Shot it, busted it in half. It was glorious. Broke my friend's little sister's swing set. We shot a potato at it and it just totally ripped through it.
Have you seen the YouTube videos out that's now for the mini crossbow?
No.
Dude, Google that mini crossbow, make it yourself thing. It's essentially it's like 2 hair barrettes as the pull arms, and you use some embroidery thread to pull it back, and just a bunch of popsicle sticks, and it launches matchsticks. Then you can light them on fire and like shoot matchsticks at things.
That sounds like. Do you remember that board game where you built the fort out of the plastic blocks and then you shoot the red?
Crossbows and catapults, right?
Yeah. Can you imagine playing that game with what you just described?
Yeah,
That would be
Flaming
so much fun,
arrows.
wouldn't it?
yeah.
Build little forts out of cardboard and then
Dude, that
shoot
game was
flaming matches at them.
that game was pretty cool. I forgot about that game.
That was a fun game.
We are totally not grown up.
No.
No, I admit that.
So one of my favorite Saturday Night Live episodes is with this Dan Aykroyd, and he's being interviewed as he's a toy seller, and it's like he's going through all the different toys, and the lady's like, "What about this? What about this?" It's like, all right, there's no way you can have a good argument for this one. She brings out this like bag of glass. She's like, yeah, he's like, when you're a kid, you used to play with the bag of glass. He's just like, playing with the glass. It's great.
I hate Dan Aykroyd.
You ever see that one though?
Yeah. My favorite SNL skit with that was the Happy Fun Ball.
Oh yeah,
Do not taunt the Happy Fun Ball.
yeah.
Happy Fun Ball may suddenly accelerate to dangerous speeds. If Happy Fun Ball begins to smoke, seek shelter and cover head. Accept no substitutes. That's the best.
Your mom played with some Happy Fun balls.
Fuck your mom, Ganthor. God damn it. See, I should have known. I should have known when you started off the show all feeling mighty.
You were giving me some shit today. I didn't appreciate it.
What shit do I ever give you that you do not return tenfold?
Just saying.
All right.
You should have learned by now.
What did we learn? What did we learn about dangerous children's toys? Z-Man.
Parents need to take personal responsibility. Your kid doesn't have money. Don't buy shit for your kid that either you shouldn't have or can blow up in your house.
Or they could put it in their mouth and clog up their internal organs.
Or you can generate thermite from.
Right. Ganthor, what did you learn?
That we should all most likely not have survived our childhoods.
Probably not. Probably not, especially if we're creating explosives. I never really got very far with my chemistry set, and I don't know whether or not that was because I had a lame chemistry set or I was just bad at chemistry.
Or you were lame.
So I was lame at chemistry.
Or just lame.
There you go. What did I learn? I learned that we still haven't grown up.
All these sound like great toys still.
There you go. So if you think these things still sound like great toys, despite the fact that they could, potentially kill you, why don't you get ahead and let us know on the Facebook page, facebook.com/4listeners or 4listeners.com. You could also tweet at us on the Twitters at 4listeners. You could check out the show on Stitcher Radio or on iTunes. Just search for 4listeners and we'll pop right on up. We thank you for checking us out this week, and we hope that you will check us out again next week. Thanks a bunch, everybody.
It's Slinky, for fun it's a wonderful toy. It's fun for a girl and a boy. It's fun for a girl and a boy.